Hold on, real quick. Listen, this is the Gray Area Podcast.
Let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those killing babies for lunch in the space, and those making a living by getting punched in the face. Welcome back to Lights, Cameras, Distraction right here on the Gray Area Podcast, where we break down films you probably never heard of, or maybe films that your dad impregnated your mom in the movie theater at. It might happen. It might just be that way. My name's Rhinoceros, and who I got with me?
MOD in the house.
What's goody? You already know DeFi Dane the Guru. Salute.
Word is Bon Jovi, baby boy. Today, as we told y'all, we are doing 3 obscure boxing movies, right? Because we're not talking about the best boxing movie. We're not describing these mega blockbuster boxing films, but 3 obscure boxing films from, again, we have to remember, this is a culture of movie. This podcast can never ever end because movies are never going to fucking end unless the asteroids come back. But we can break these joints down, and these are 3 very obscure boxing movies that I'm so happy that we're going to be breaking down. And they are, we're going to start with 1992, the motherfucking Diggstown.
Diggstown.
Yeah, with James Woods and Lou Gossett Jr., and then we're going to take it up to the Hurricane, Denzel Washington, and that old fat black kid. Do we see him again ever in life? I don't know.
He's been around. He's been around.
Yeah, he gets people coffee now.
I feel like he was in one of the Godzillas. You know what I'm saying?
Was he Antoine Fisher?
Oh, shit.
And then we take it to Chuck, which seriously was a pleasure. Was a pleasure to watch. And I caught that shit this morning, like at 3:30 in the morning, with a nice half and half, that old beef and broccoli, a whole bunch of backyard boogie, and some of 161st finest. And it was it was a very good time. So let's start it off. Diggstown, 1992. I'm opening up to y'all. Let's do it.
James Woods, Louis Gossett Jr., bunch of other people in it. First of all, the movie opens up in a prison, right? Opening shot is a prison. You hear a bunch of ruckus. It turns out to be some type of fucking underground prison fight ring that the warden is overseeing. James Woods is a prisoner. And let's go back, right? I thought that this movie was another movie for a long time.
Yeah.
I thought that Diggstown was Gladiator for years. So I'm like, yeah, I seen fucking Diggstown. That shit is fire. I seen that shit. But now when I go to look at it yesterday, I'm like, what is this? I never seen this before.
No.
You know what I'm saying? So
it has a very My Cousin Vinny feel to it, doesn't it?
It's a true 90s movie.
And it was wild. I thought it was again, man. I thought it was like a late 80s. It has a late 80s vibe.
But you know what? The best 90s movies are reminiscent of the 80s.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
And they all like, oh, now in the 90s, like, shit ain't changed.
Shit was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It was 3 years ago.
Yeah. And the cliche of the prison fight of the warden. Such a cliche that it's ridiculous, right? But he continues. I don't know if you guys have seen this. It's not brand new, but it's recent. And again, I think I had texted you. I was like, Vince Vaughn is in this fucking prison flick, and I'm like, a prison flick, and he's a boxer. He's doing all these fighting moves, and I'm like,
Cell Block 99.
Yes. And I'm like, yo, this gentleman was not gifted by Lord Baby Jesus with the mobility to do this.
It's funny.
He looks like Steven Seagal.
Absolute madness.
Yeah. So not only is this, speaking of absolute madness, and if you hear me say the word outrageous, is because Lionel Richie actually said that in the American Music Awards in 1985. He said that shit about, I think it was like fucking Prince. He called Prince outrageous, I think, for what he came up to the podium and shit. As he won Best Black Album. Yo, my man, that shit, through the age of races. Best Black Album. That was actually a category. Best Black Album. What the fuck does that mean? So he comes up there with this big white bodyguard. He leaves, and Lionel Richie goes, outrageous. But at the same time, this man is wearing a full sequenced fucking suit with a sequenced tie. Your man like a fucking, like a glitter bomb had gone on in his armpits. And he called somebody else outrageous. So outrageous in the sense of this movie, right? This is how outrageous it is. We open up to James Woods not just being in prison, but this motherfucker has the ultimate in. You know, you get cigarettes from somebody.
Maybe he's got a crazy hustle.
Yeah, like you could probably get some man booty from a nigga. I don't know, but his hustle. Yeah, come on, you know how it works. I mean, you don't know personally, but we all know how that works. But his hustle is a hustle that I've never ever seen before in any movie. Muggs, tell him what the hustle is.
This guy has the prison mapped out so well that if you need to escape, if you need to get out of here, he's the guy to see for the steep price of $10,000, right?
Yeah.
So there's a point in the beginning of the movie where he helps a guy escape, right? Right after that, he's in the warden's office, and the warden's talking to him, and he's saying, you know, there's only been 6 successful escapes in the history of this prison, and the last 5 have been since you got here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But hold up. He does not only, I mean, it's like a big rat hole on the side of the prison. Like, how the fuck did you guys fix that? 1. 2, he makes you escape with a blindfold on. Like you were gonna go out there and snitch about the fucking escape. You're on the run. You're a prisoner. You're not gonna come back and be like, yo, I know how. My man, isn't that shit wild? You make a motherfucker escape with a blindfold on?
And he tapes the money to his back,
bro.
Yo.
He said just in case, bro.
Just in case you want to come back and snitch.
Now, maybe I'm missing something. I mean,
it is the early 90s. Now everything has to be explained.
Right. He paid him. He said, you got the money? You got the 10,000? You got the 10,000? He said, yeah, I got the 10,000. Here it is. He hands it to him.
Yeah.
It's in a cigarette box. Now, listen, I'm not no rocket scientist, right?
Yeah.
But I could tell you that you're not going to be able to stuff 10 bands into a Marlboro cigarette box. So was it a different form of payment? I don't know. We're going to leave that up to the ether. I don't know.
That's agreed. You can't put 10 grand in no fucking cigarette box. That's a fact.
And who the fuck is carrying 10 grand in prison, dog? How'd you get that? First and foremost, I'm gonna jump here because fucking Hurricane starts off with they try to flip his cell, and he's like, nah, you're not gonna take my manuscript. They're gonna take this motherfucker's diary, and you got 10 G's there just laying around in his cell next to the toilet, keeping it icy. That's fucking ridiculous.
And you know what? It speaks to the level of seriousness in these movies. You know what I'm saying? Like
a distraction.
Diggstown it's a very gray area boxing movie, but in the sense there's a lot of distraction in it. There's a lot of quintessential late 80s, early 90s kind of comedy, quippy, non-serious, but then it gets serious. There's always a serious undertone, but most of the movie is bright and, you know, filled with dialogue that promotes, you know.
That was a great point, dude, in the sense of, because even that prison fight, there was a lot of lights on.
Right.
I don't know if you meant it that way, but
even aesthetically.
Yeah, aesthetically, there was a lot of brightness. Like it had a few. Even when they ruled his best friend, his prison friend out dead, it's supposed to be a very somber moment, but yet it was daytime. The sister didn't even cry as much. She's like, "Who's gonna bury my brother?" And she just walked into no tears. Like, it was the same way you described it. It was very well done. Very well done. And what happens is with flicks like this, like that brightness doesn't let you live in that somber area, and then makes you think of the reality behind it all. I mean, this was a character, back to James Woods' prison partner, that was like very innocent, right? Remember when he was leaving, he's like, "Yo, here's my best prison shirt, my Easter prison shirt, my Easter morning prison shirt, and could you please just go to my sister's house and have my dogs smell it?" I was like, what the fuck kind of request is that? It's a wild thing for a grown-ass man. I have a dog, man. I love my fucking dog. But it's like, I'm gonna go out the way, go visit my sister, which you've never met. Here's my stinky-ass fucking shirt, and tell my dogs I'll be out in like 4 months. Like, what the fuck?
He's like, don't forget me, dog. Don't forget me.
Yeah, literally.
Crazy. It brings me to a point of, I had no idea that Heather Graham was acting for so long.
Your word is Bon Jovi.
So when I seen her, I'm like, what? Is that Heather Graham? That's not Heather Graham. I'm like, oh, I remember her from fucking late 90s, mid 90s, late 90s shit. You know what I'm saying? So don't get me wrong, it's 1992, but it would reason to say that she's been acting since the early 80s. And I just wasn't privy to that. I didn't realize that.
Fucking Boogie Nights, B, older girl. So everybody remembers, B, that you come here, man, give me some herpes. But yeah, she was, I think, too young for the role. She was way too young for the role. She was definitely, I don't know, man, maybe giving hand jobs at the time. I don't know. But she was definitely too young for the role. And what it did was that it kind of made it awkward, right? Between James Woods and her. Like, are they going to fuck? Are they not going to fuck? But she's like,
obviously almost 50 in this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
But you know what? Okay, so let me ask you this, Rhino. Do you think that speaks to Hollywood still being trapped in the Blue Lagoon stage?
I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, we can go down the timeline, man. I mean, women have, I think, been objects of Hollywood since the beginning. I think we have spoken about this off podcast, but about Ladies and Boys Girls, me and Muggs were growing a bromance from movies.
Yo, he's the bro for real, man. For real.
But seriously, I think I told you like Rita Moreno, right? Rita Moreno gets a gig for like West Side Story, but like she was signed to the fucking studio, right? And when you were signed back then, you were definitely on the fucking plantation, right? Free agency was not a fucking thing. And when they could not put her in something because she was a fucking Puerto Rican, what they would do is they would like, yo man, why don't you go on a date real quick with this motherfucker? You know what I mean? And they would pimp her out. And she got raped in one of those fucking things, one of those dates. I mean, there's a documentary, she explains that shit very well. We just finished the whole Me Too thing. And so you can imagine how long that culture, right, was made. Reminds me of, I was watching, one of the joints I love to watch is Horrible Bosses 2. And when they're talking about the kidnapping, he said, nah, that shit is dumb. He's like, name one movie where the kidnappers don't get caught or go to jail. And Charlie goes, he says, 9 to 5, motherfucker. He's like, all right, name 2. He's like, nah, we already named 1, and you're gonna go into this name 2. And so they turn to fucking motherfucker Jones, just played by Jamie Foxx, and he go, well, 9 to 5, like he wouldn't know what 9 to 5 was. He goes, man, I know what 9 to 5 is. It's about, he said, it's about the chick with them big ass titties. I'm like, well, that's not really what it's about, but I get they pan over to these guys, and you can hear them in the background go, she got old, but the titty stayed young. So it's I mean, again, what women have to do to fucking either get apart or stay relevant, right? Staying relevant. Right. Mm-hmm. So I mean, unfortunately, I mean, Heather Graham, like, when have we last seen her? I mean, it's again, unfortunately, I think it was sort of like Hangover, right? I don't know.
And that was like a surprise kind of, oh, she's in this shit type of shit. That was a while ago, too. Yeah.
And then she had to play a hooker, which was kind of wild. So, back to Diggstown. They're supposed to be laying down the foundation to kind of let you know that James Woods is this motherfucking, like, monster con man or a hustler, right? And I'm thinking my whole time, we're still in the beginning. I'm thinking my whole time, I was like, yo, man, you can get motherfuckers to escape. He's not even doing a long bid. Like, he's not doing a bid like he murdered somebody. It's like a minimum state, minimum fucking security prison. And the whole time I'm like, why aren't you leaving? Why are you sticking around? It's kind of fucking weird. But he gets out, and then he heads over to fucking Diggstown, which Diggstown is, I think it's named after a boxer, right? That was a Spanish boxer. And that was why I wanted to do this movie, because, I mean, boxing as a part of American culture is fucking crazy. And that history alone, I mean, when you see it in a sense of like in this movie, if you're not really familiar with boxing in the sense of like the carnival that is boxing, which will bring me into when we get into Chuck and shit, the carnival act that is boxing, it's not really reflected here, but we can see how this one person who was such a profound boxer gets the town named after him. That's fucking insane.
I think it was boxing was massive, Okay, so we can reference, you know, a lot of Scorsese movies that reference things in the past. And when we talk about gangs in New York, there's a specific point where they talk about, you know, the bare knuckle boxing that was going on, and how it was illegal within the city limits. And then they managed to start boxing on barges. It's not the city limits, it's the water. You know what I'm saying? So like boxing is integral in the growth of America, and, you know, it's reminiscent of, you know, the Romans.
I mean, think about it. It's not a team sport. It's a one-on-one thing. It's a barbaric fucking act. I mean, I used to hang out with a fucking boxer, and I was like, yo, dude, took me to like one workout, and he's like, yo, man, you just hit this rope for 3 minutes, you know, as long as a fucking round. And I'm like, all right, first round. He's like, I could have stopped until the bell rang. My man, after that 1 minute, I was like, I'll be in the car, yo, smoking weed. Get the fuck out of here, B. That shit's way too much. And then he's in there getting his face punched. And I'm like, how the odds are so stacked against you in a you can consider it an art form. You can. You can consider it a sport. You can definitely do that. But you are getting your fucking face punched. I mean, I grew up in the hood, man, and if I got my face punched, it was over. I'm biting the fucking nipples. I'm doing crazy shit, dude. Like, I respect that, I guess, that harmony, that patience to get punched in the face, because it's a fucking crazy, that discipline. It's a crazy thing to just get punched in the face and say, okay, what's the next step?
I also think, you know, it has a lot to do with trauma. Some people, some people disperse negative energy better with physical trauma.
Oh, great point. I mean, and you see that shit and we'll get into it when it comes to hurricane a little more, but you see that shit in black boxers, right? I mean, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, fucking. Thanks, U.S. imperialism. I mean, look at fucking Mexico. Look at fucking Oscar De La Hoya and the daddy issues he had. He had massive daddy issues. His dad would be like at every fight, but he's like, oh, you know, and my man, Oscar De La Hoya fucking, I mean, that's a name, right, that stands out. And what's the biggest thing in his life? You guys remember what was the biggest thing in his life? His daddy never said he loved him. It's like, what the fuck, bros? I'm still trying to get that I love you from my dad. I was like, oh, at least you have a dad.
Right. And that's the level of conditioning. Like, I think me and you was talking, and it's like, I asked you, yo, how's your week, man? Good. It's always good, because compared to some people out here, it's crazy, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is not even. We already know life isn't fair, but it's not even by any means. You know what I'm saying? And I think for sure it's about conditioning. But I enjoyed Diggstown, man. I really like Lou Gossett Jr. and I like James Woods. James Woods.
James Woods, I mean, is phenomenal. You guys ever seen Salvador?
No.
Oh wow, that's Oliver Stone. Salvador. It's
Salvador Dali?
No. Salvador, as in El Salvador.
Okay.
It took place in the 80s, and this is when good old Reagan. Oh, speaking of, shouts to the Gray Area podcast. I saw you guys had interviewed Reagan era, and we had I had done an interview with Halo a couple of weeks back. So it's like it's really cool to see how you guys are interviewing. We're interviewing the same people, and then and we're growing together. But it's good to see that. So I wanted to throw that shout out in there.
Appreciate you, man. Shout out to Reagan Nara, man. Dios Nagasi, Sneak Rothstein, all the guys over there. We really do appreciate it. Shout out to Jerry Graham, too. Let's go.
Word. So why am I bringing that up, right? Because Salvador takes place in the 80s when the U.S. was out there fucking, when Congress said, nah, man, we're not going to put money aside to feed these Central American guerrillas in order to fucking fight Nicaragua. That's an ill episode. This man movies around that shit. And then fucking, we have the paperwork. We have the facts. And the U.S. government was fucking out there fucking guns for cocaine. And, bringing cocaine into the hood, turning fucking crack era, and feeding guns to illiterate fucking rural farmers in order to fucking crush the revolution in Nicaragua. There are joints out there. If you ever want to go down that wormhole. But we're
Real
on
quick,
James.
Ronald, to your
Yes.
point of like the boxing, brother, it's like, and it being integral to America, I think it's worth mentioning even slavery times, right, with the Mandingo fights and then, prize fighters and all that.
Yeah, I mean, like Mike said, in the sense of like, it's kind of Roman times, fucking one-on-one, fucking, battles and shit. But yeah, I mean, at the turn of the century, I mean, boxing was bigger than fucking baseball, right? And I mean, let's look at the turn of the century, and let's go into like race, right? It was a fucking white man sport, and when you would have a black boxer, that shit became really, really fucking like. I watched the Joe Louis documentary. And it's like, yo, the shit that they would. You're one person, bro. You don't even have a team. I mean, you're not Jackie Robinson out there with a whole bunch of dudes saying, yo, don't worry about it, man. We got your back. You're one fucking person, yo. And people are like, yo, you fucking. And drawing you like a fucking monkey on newspapers and throwing shit at you. You can't shit or piss in the bathroom. Like, yo, what the fuck? And I mean, again, all fair, but we spoke about like Jack Johnson, right?
Jack Johnson,
blackness.
Yeah, Jack Johnson. I mean, like I said, I lived on a block from fucking Yankee Stadium, and fucking Jack Johnson fought fucking 75 fucking rounds in like July here, fucking in Yankee Stadium, bro. Like, in
75 rounds, people.
Google that. 75 fucking rounds in the sun, doggy. Are you fucking insane? I can't even go out to a concert and stay in the sun that long. I need like a little umbrella hat. I need a little fan, fucking some little, I need a little water. 75 fucking rounds. I mean, the evolution of this sport is also some crazy shit, right? But God, it was a true staple of American life. Like back to Joe Louis, like when Joe Louis was fighting, and they would do the interviews. People in Harlem would run to the radios just to listen, and it became a point of racial pride because Joe Louis was beating down these white dudes, right? And they were just trying to get a white dude to fucking fuck them up. Or when it came to fucking Jack Johnson, they're trying to get a white man to fuck him up. And Jack Johnson over here with his 1910 style, like he's fucking. And then started fucking all the white girls, and they were like, "Yo, let's get this motherfucker."
Yo, he's my favorite, man, Jack Johnson, because he did. My favorite story when he was driving too fast, right? He gave him the extra money, like, okay, well, I'm doing the same speed, right? So here's the money for the. You know what I mean? He was just like, yo.
I mean, that was a brazen man, dude. Like.
Right.
I could not imagine the fucking I mean, just
But you know what? That also speaks to the Mason-Dixon line. You know what I'm saying? Because he would have not been able to get away with that down south. Now, he was who he was wherever he went. But when we talk about certain things, a lot of those certain things weren't as serious. The repercussions for him weren't as serious because it wasn't down south. It was up north.
Right.
But then guess then what happens, right? Because again, boxing was this reflection of America, right? It was a reflection of the culture, right? There were no baseball teams past like fucking Cleveland or something like that, right? Like or maybe Kansas City. Boxing, it was more of a comprised cultural fucking sport.
Like a universal thing.
Yeah. And you're absolutely kind of right, man, internationally, because you would end up fighting somebody from fucking Germany. You would end up fighting French dudes when they had boxers. I don't know what happened to those motherfuckers. The British. So it became a global fucking competition, right? Even to this day, man. Go watch a fucking Mexican fight somebody. How many Mexicans show up to that shit? God damn it. That shit is crazy. That's why they do the national anthems and shit, right? But with him, it was like, oh man, this is a representation of America. This big black dude who's out here fucking these white prostitutes. And what did they do? They created the Mann Act, right? Where it was illegal for you to start traveling with white women across fucking state lines. It's like, word? Just for me, bro? Like, just for me? Wowzers. And that's how they'll get you.
Right. If you're not going to submit, then they'll just, listen, man, we create a new law.
Yeah.
You know, we'll give it a couple years. Get a new logo.
So let's get back to Diggstown and the wildness that is Diggstown. So Diggstown, now he gets out of fucking prison. Right? He did his fucking time. Gets out of prison, and he already had a plant in the town, right? This fucking hustler. I forgot the actor's name, but he's a fucking hustler. He's there. He's over here getting drunk, but he had Oliver Platt. Thank you. And Oliver Platt is like, yeah, whatever, taking dudes' money with the same time. Yeah, man, I know a fight. It's Diggstown. So boxing is, again, the foundation of that town. And he's like, yeah, I know a boxer that could take out all you motherfuckers. And then he makes a kind of the wager, right? Waits for James Woods to get there. Apparently, this was already planned months ago. And they make the bet without even telling Lou Gossett Jr.'s fucking character. Apparently, James Woods is such a beautiful mind fucker that he just shows up at Lou Gossett Jr.'s house, who right now is like 54 years old. His titties are sagging. This guy got no fucking muscles. He's fucking married. He's doing the laundry. He just pops up. He's like, yo, man, what's up? Like, what you got? You stole me money, motherfucker. He's like, nah, I ain't got nothing. His wife's like, you better not leave with that white boy. And he leaves with the white boy and still doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But then finds out that he has to, because they got in bed with the leading town hustler of Diggstown, which is like the leading merchant, richest guy. He owns property. Back to that owning property should be. Back to that, property will get you political power. Owning property. And and then he has to fight 10 dudes in one day. But
let's not forget the mob element in this.
Oh, speak on that.
There's the owner, there's the gentleman who Rhino was talking about just now, played by Bruce Dern. But then there's another element of, like, I don't want to place where they're from, but they're definitely some type of organized crime. And it only was, a marker for me because thug number one is fucking Michael DiLorenzo from New York Undercover.
Ooh.
So I was like, oh, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
There's two elements. There's two different elements. There's the boss. There's the boss of the town. You know what I'm saying? The guy who doesn't really play no game. Maybe he might get you beat up. And then there's the element where they're dealing with money and they're making bets with people who will kill you.
But this is a weird thing. It's like, all right, so you know the mob, because the head dude has an Italian name and then he has a slick back with a fucking ponytail. But then he's over here rocking with this Puerto Rican motherfucker.
Right.
And you're like, what are these motherfuckers doing in Georgia?
Right. Like, what the fuck? Like, are you from Miami? Are you Cuban? Like, yeah, I don't know, bro. But listen, yeah, Michael DiLorenzo.
yeah. So actually, what's funny is that James Woods is actually making bets with the mob's money, right? He's betting with the mob's money, and they're holding the money after this fucking fight. So the thing is, they have the fucking fight. Oh, let's not forget the daddy issues with Bruce Dern and his own son, right? That was mad weird. He gives him like a 57 Chevy, but it's in the boxing arena, and it's like, it's your son. You're gonna be its son. You're gonna be... And it was like so fucking kind of pedophile weird and shit. But then, whatever. The bet is made. Go watch this fucking movie you ever watched it. It's mad old. The bets are made. They're choosing the fucking boxers and shit. The guy from Bruce Dern in the town has these two black boxers, right? This is where it gets really racist. Has these two black boxers, right? But then Oliver Platt had gotten to him and was like, yo, man, you just go down, you each make like $500. And they're like, oh my God, we've never seen that kind of money. Oh. It's like, oh shit, calm down, man. And fucking, they're part of the whole tent, right? In the beginning, Lou Gossett Jr. just knocked motherfuckers out. It gets to one of the brothers. He loses the fucking fight. Bruce Dern's like, yo, that shit look too fucking weak, right? Then he kind of holds that brother hostage for the other brothers, like, yo, man, if you don't fucking knock him out, I'm going to kill your brother. But it's wild how... So the other brother gets in the ring. He's putting all his work. Lou Gossett Jr. is like, yo, man, we got to give you $500. Man, what the fuck is wrong with you, B? Like, you're going in hard. He's like, I got to go hard. I got to go hard. And he goes hard, but still loses. So Lou Gossett Jr. supposedly has cement hands. This is hilarious. So he fucks him up. He runs to the back, and They lynch his fucking brother in an arena. What the fuck is that about?
That's just one of those that's one of those arcs that they wrote. There was cocaine, there was fucking Bon Jovi music in the background, and they said, you know what's going to happen to these two brothers? You know what that arc is going to be? Listen, it's a lot. You can go back, man, and there's a lot of different references where it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That shit was totally uncalled for and unnecessary, and nobody thought it was even going that way. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But, I mean, again, the Bruce Dern character, I think is pretty cool. He then sneaks in some other dude that had, Lou Gossett Jr. had trouble fighting. Again, that dude was like Mad Diesel. Lou Gossett Jr. is like 50-something. It did not look right. And then, his son, when his son is supposed to box him, he comes up to the ring and just goes, nothing. And then walks away. So they're like, oh, that's it. That's a victory. He's thinking. They're like, yo, man, awesome. We won 10 fights. And yeah, when you ready for the next one? He's like, yo, you mean 10 fights? Like, yo, Robbie never came. Oh, that's a name too, Robbie. Robbie never stepped in the ring, so that doesn't count. It was in the bylaws. I'm like, damn, these fucking bylaws. And they bring in a prisoner from the beginning, a Mexican dude. Rhinoceros Torres, that's what his name is, right? And fucking, they got him in. He's like, yo, what the fuck? I say, nah, man. He's like, we set the county. He's like, he lives in the prison, and the prison's in the county. So what up? James Woods actually uses Heather Graham's character to find out that this dude has like mad, like I guess offshore accounts. Like they get all into his financials and get him to bet everything that he has, which is fucking bananas. Right? But he thinks he's gonna get it because, you know, he got money, little dick, no doubt, let's do it. And so he got all he's all in. And the mom was like, all right, we'll back it because we think James Woods' character is much more slicker than you, I guess. And the 10th fucking fight is this fucking crazy Mexican, Rhinoceros Torres, comes in the ring. Lou Gossett Jr. is like, yo, dude, I am fucking tired, B. He's like, yeah, don't worry about it. They're about to square off. And then that's where we see the brilliance of James Woods' character. He gets up on the fucking on the over there by the top rope turnbuckle, and he just fixes his little 1987 tie and yells out, "No show!" And then puts his fucking thumb down, and then also looks at him, poop, one little tap on the chin, and he goes down. And Bruce Dern had like, "Yo, man, you can't out hustle a player." Well, he said some shit. And then James Woods goes, hey, the phrase is, you can't out hustle a hustler.
Boom.
And boom, mic drop. So the whole time I'm thinking, these hustlers. I mean, again, the game of promotion, the game of hustling fucking boxers. I mean, it's again, an American thing, dude. It's boxers are a dime a fucking dozen.
There's always somebody willing to sacrifice their body for money. Always.
Yeah. Yo, you guys, I forgot his name, but if you're listening to this, please go out there and look him up. It's a horrible fucking story. He was on, they gave him some, I think it was an hour, 30 for 30, but he was definitely on ESPN. And it's just this dude, very young, he's like 22 years old. And he was born with no fucking legs. And his goal is to be a UFC fighter. I mean, this motherfucker is brolic from the hips up. He has no fucking legs, bro. And
he's about Zion?
I don't know his name. You look him up and tell me if I'm right. If you're right. But he is rock solid, right? And he wants to get into the octagon and fight. And the whole time I'm thinking, damn, he got no fucking legs. Like, apply your mind. Go to community college or something, motherfucker. Like, what is wrong with you, B? You want to get fucking... And UFC's like, nah, B, like, somebody's going to kick you in your face and break your face open. You got no legs. You can't... You know, and then, yeah, he's competed in other, like, mixed martial arts. But it's like, nah, dude, like, yeah, for real. And you know what's wild? Is that he grew up... His parents didn't want him. This is why you got to be always happy for what you got. His parents didn't want him. He grew up in a foster care system. Yo, his fucking foster parents abused the shit out of him.
Yeah, you're talking about Zion.
And then finally he found some lady that was like, yo, B, I'll love you with your legless ass.
Yo, real talk though. But that's another example of you got to be grateful for what you got because there's somebody else that is different. It's different for everybody. So just
Yeah.
rub down the chest
Listen,
sometimes
man.
and keep fucking pushing.
This is a PSA for anybody who's listening. If you experience genuine love from another human being, embrace it. Embrace it. Because a lot of people, most people, don't give a fuck about you. I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with the fact that most people don't give a fuck about me. I'm cool with that.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Genuine love, not no fucking weird love.
I think it's a fantastic segue there, man. Speaking of people who care, I think it's time to get into the hurricane, because if it wasn't for someone loving Reuben Hurricane Carter, he would have fucking died in jail. So let's go. Buckets of popcorn on the motherfucking 1992, what I consider a classic, Diggstown. What do you guys give it?
I will give Diggstown. Okay. I give Diggstown. Yeah, I give it three. I give it 3.5 buckets. I liked it. It checks a lot of the boxes for me when it comes to nostalgia. So I'm there with it. I like I said, I like Lou Gossett. I like James Woods. I like Bruce Dern. Real quick, Jim Caviezel.
Yeah, Jesus freak. Yeah.
Yep, crazy. Yeah, man, I like the movie. I'll give it 3.5 buckets of popcorn for nostalgia purposes only.
I mean, I will go 4 on it because I just grew up with the shit, and it was constantly like on Channel 11 and shit. Prior to fucking, I guess, having 1,000 channels, and so the nostalgia aspect, yes. If you're looking for a sound, fucking logical movie, this is not your game right here. But if you want to see how an old, washed up fucking boxer takes on 10 fights in one day, hold on. Yeah, this is 4. I give it 4. Let's go real quick. The end, right? This motherfucker, Bruce Dern's character, hung a man, right? Pushed a woman out the way, and then grabbed the sheriff's pistol and tried to shoot someone. And then all he got was, "Hey, bro, my hands are tired. You mind?" And then got punched in the face. That was it. That was his fucking his punishment. And I found that wild. But still, I'll give it 4 just because I've watched this movie like 1,000 times.
Let's go.
Hurricane Carter. Was it 1999? Was it? But also, I mean, we can shout that shit out, man. Fucking Diggstown is on Tubi. You're gonna go watch it. Right.
From now on, what we're gonna do, side note, I'm gonna put all of the links to everything that we review, and I'll either put, if it's on Tubi, I'll link it on Tubi, or I'll link it to where you might have to pay a couple little dollars, but don't be cheap. It's art.
Word up, motherfuckers paid at the box office for that shit.
Straight like that.
So yeah, man. So Hurricane Carter, the story of Reuben Hurricane Carter out of Patterson, New Jersey. And I mean, I love this as one of those obscure boxing movies because, again, we go back into the idea of representation of race in a sport that, I mean, it's held to be so American. And then at a particular time in American history where there was this disgusting form of racism that would just lock up black men with no care for life. I mean, it was just, here, take it. Just shut the fuck up and take it. And we see that, right? We see it starts off with, he had one, I think, 18 of his last 21 fights. He was on his way and shit. There's a murder that's committed, and obviously there's always 2 black men. And they stop him. The cops say, "Oh shit, Hurricane, I didn't know it was you." He's like, "Yeah, man, we're looking for 2 black men that fit the description." He's like, "Any description?" Or like, "Any 2 black men?" he says. And then they drag this man, which is crazy, right? If in today's legal system, you're like, "Yo, that's fucking bananas." He dragged this man to the guy's deathbed. And they're like, "Yo, did he shoot you?" The guy's like, "No." Look at him again. Look at him again. Like, "You're my man." What the fuck? And he gets convicted. There's like 3 life terms. And it's a story that you could be retold. Fucking Mumia's still locked up. Like, for me, it's a bananas fucking actual fact of American history. And if it wasn't for I think it was his book, right? His book gets published, and this young black man is reading that shit. I think he was adopted by 3 lawyers in Canada, and he's like, "Yo, this is a crazy fucking story. I want to meet Ruben." What do you guys think about Hurricane?
So we see him in prison already, and then it flashbacks to him as a kid, right? They're hanging by this place, which is it's called Patterson Falls. And it's a bunch of little black kids, and they're hanging around. And before you know it, an older white guy in a suit, well-off white guy comes around, and he's on his pedophile shit, and he's trying to snatch one of the little niggas up. And Reuben Carter is like, nah, let him go. By long story short, he throws the bottle, cracks the nigga, boom, everybody runs. Obviously, he's the last nigga to run, so he gets caught. The white nigga grabs him up. He's about to throw him off of the cliff, right? He had a little blade on him, stabbed up the white guy. Boom, got away. Next thing you know, he's hemmed up by the cops. You tried to rob this guy's watch. Somebody very important in the community. Next thing you know, I think he might have been fucking 9 at the time. They sentenced him to the boys' home, to the youth home, for like fucking 17 years or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? And that's where he learns how to fight and learns how to box. Crazy thing is, we're talking about Patterson. My wife is from Patterson, and my wife is a Carter. So I'm pretty sure that she's related to him somewhere down the line. Not verified, but I'm pretty sure.
So it's a fucking cult. We all in there, you say your name and all these, the icebreakers and shit. And we all write our names on this nameplate and shit with these crayons and markers, and make it look nice. Like, yo, man, I'm fucking 30 years old. What the fuck you doing, Pete? And I read my name, and like right across from me, this girl, her name is Wendy Snipes. And I'm looking at this bitch like, yo, she looks like fucking Wesley Snipes, man. This an ugly ass bitch. She looks like Wesley Snipes. All right. I'm like, let me not say nothing. 2 facts and 1 lie and shit. And it gets to her. She's like, hey, I'm Wesley Snipes' niece. I'm like, that's true. That's fucking true. She's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, you look just like him. You look just like him. So it's again, it's a wild history of these homes for boys and shit, right? Which, I mean, the trauma that's come out of there. I mean, there's still motherfuckers trying to sue these places, that were, most of them that were ran by the fucking church. And we all know what happens. When things are run by the church.
We're talking about shit from 50 years ago, 60 years ago now.
Yeah, that shit is fucking crazy. I mean, let's go back to the indigenous people. I mean, that's one way they got the indigenous to forget their language, and they got fucking stripped away from their parents, Right. And that was fucking taking them and putting them into these fucking churches and Christianizing them and shit.
Right, make you turn to Christianity. You know what movie we also have to do if we're going to talk about abuse? You ever seen Sleepers?
Oh, yeah.
Sleepers is a good one. We'll do that.
So we got Hurricane and the trauma, right? And like you guys said, he takes on boxing and be like, yo, man, I'm kind of get this fucking trauma out. But there's a point where he stops believing, right? So, and luckily, again, man, these attorneys, right, who are, I think they're working for like the Innocence Project, man, started that. And it was talking to my boy Malta, who I was talking to him about the situation. He's like, oh shit, that actually one of those attorneys was a professor of his at Hofstra Law. The guy who played Friedman. He's a co-counselor and shit. And he's like, yeah, I took a class with that guy. I was like, oh shit. So like, again, it just gives you this understanding of how many fucking people are in prison for things they did not commit, right? And I think that the story is it's important to know, just not because he was a boxer. I mean, luckily he was a boxer, right? Because if he was somebody else on your block, you never would have heard him. And we have the flashbacks, but we don't have like the training aspect. We don't have the fucking you're defend the title to it kind of scenes that you have in other boxing movies. But again, this is a review of obscure boxing movies, and it really is that, right?
It's a good point that you made, though, when we don't really have any... So you see his past glories. By the time he gets out of prison, there's no way he picks up boxing again as a career. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I can appreciate that, you know?
Yeah, you definitely got to be a landscaper.
Right.
You're not going back.
You got to go to Best Buy, man.
If you're hiring, right? But yeah, it's the difficulty of that, right? I think he ends up moving with them to like a cabin or something, or he becomes like a spokesman for the Innocent Project.
Right.
And again, he was very lucky that he had this vehicle behind him, and it started with the song, right? That fucking song it was famous, and people were like, "Look, the fuck is singing?" Yeah. They were like, "What the fuck are you singing about?" I was like, "Yo, man, this dude just got arrested. There's no evidence. There's nothing, and he's fucking locked up for no fucking reason." And again, if Jump Boys and Girls happens to this day, yo. Happens to this day. I fucking ran to this. I tell folks A&E. I love watching that crazy shit. And there was an episode of Taking the Stand. We called it every Thursday. And I'm looking at the TV. I'm like, yo, I know this chick. Like, she's a legal analyst. I went to fucking college with her. And I fucking found her online. I was like, yo, crazy shit. She's like, yeah, that case was fucking wild. This dude gets triple murder, right? And there was no evidence anywhere in the house that he killed these people. One of them was his son. He's like, yo, my man, he killed my own son. But the woman the prosecutor kept asking him particular questions. He's like, you already answered that, yo. He's like, oh, look at his attitude. Oh. And the judge was like, just answer the question. I already told you. He said, hey, don't yell at me, man. All right. And he's like, oh, look at this big black guy getting mad.
Look at his temper, right.
And you gave him 3 life terms for that when the DNA in the crib wasn't his. The sneaker print in the crib wasn't his. Nothing. Someone came out and was like, yo, man, look, she used to mule coke, and she came up short. That's why I have it.
There you go.
And they were like, nah, we don't believe that. It was him. I was like, what the fuck? Crazy shit.
You're very right with that. There's a lot of that rests on these cities, these major cities. They have case dockets that you wouldn't believe.
Oh.
They've got, like, New York City. Manhattan alone has a case docket that it terrifies most people how many cases there are to be seen and to be going through. So if they could say this person went here and did this, even though we're not 100% sure, but the timeline fits and maybe we got some circumstantial evidence, they're going. We're going to send them. We're going to get them off the docket. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that's, people get swept into the system that way.
Yeah.
You know, and
circumstantial is the. I mean, we are. Yeah, I have to say, we are a very fucking savage species. I was telling an attorney friend of mine, he does a lot of murder trials. I'm like, damn, that's crazy, man. Yeah, and I'm like, yo, dude, I was just thinking about this fucking show I was listening to, and it was the influence of the church on Nordic development, right? So, the Nordic people, very pagan, and the church for centuries worked very hard to get rid of paganism. And they started, eventually getting into the Icelands and Greenlands and shit. And the lecture was on how we can see the changes of particular laws that were influenced by the church. And here's one of those laws. One of those laws was that you can prosecute someone by a dream. So there was a very famous fucking priest that moves to Iceland and shit, and he starts having these dreams, and he starts telling, of course, yo, man, I'm dreaming that this guy and his son are plotting against me and all this shit. And these dreams are held up in court to the point that they execute the guy and the son, because this is how we were accepting evidence. And then he not only did he gets them executed, but then he takes their land. And then a couple of years later, he's like, yo, I'm dreaming that the daughter is also plotting against me. And she's like, well, yo, what the fuck is this about? Like, how is this fucking possible? It's idiotic. And we move like that. We come from those kinds of, that kind of development in law. It's ridiculous.
What's the common denominator in everything that we speak of? How did Bruce Dern manage to evade, custody after doing all this crazy shit? It circled back to land ownership.
Yes. Exactly.
Real talk, bro.
That's what he wanted at the end, right? He said, yo, man, not only do I deserve for them to be hanged, but I want their property. And now that I have more property, now I have control and I have political power. I mean, that's how the church did it.
Madness.
But it's, again, things you're not going to learn while watching the hurricane.
Right. That's why you got to come tap in with us. You know what I'm saying? Every week, because it's the shit that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the movie, right? But we're also going to talk about the mechanics of the system and how it affects us and why they present these movies to us in the ways that they do. Hurricane is special, though. Hurricane is special.
And I think that the key to the hurricane is to have white lawyers, to have attorneys that are knowledgeable of what they are doing, right? And again, I hang out with attorneys and the stories I hear, I'm like, holy shit, people are fucking dumb. But to have knowledgeable attorneys, man, people who have experience in what you're going through. I mean, people have experience in the particular laws that you're trying to define and get around, right? Oh shit, yo, real quick. I was watching Mo Money this morning. One of the funniest scenes in Mo Money. Y'all know Mo Money? Mo Money. Yo, my man, one of the funniest fucking scenes in the fucking goddamn history of that movie, son, is when they get him out the fucking prison cell, and he got the reverend, his lawyer. He's like, I wanna prosecute all over my client, and the judge's like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he's like, yo, listen, B, you got shitty ass representation. I'm gonna dismiss this case. And then the chunky motherfucker that has snapped his sister's neck is like, yo, I want Reverend Pip Daddy as my lawyer. My sister paying off, don't worry about it. That's fucking hilarious. The Wayans. More than one. Carter, I love it. Does not pack the brightness of Diggstown. There's a lot of darkness, as it should be, because it's someone going through a horrendous part of their life. Who's the CEO, man? He's the same CEO from fucking
from Shawshank.
From Shawshank, yeah.
Right. And you want to talk similarities? If you want to talk
similarities. That's a
fact. Lee Schreiber is also in there.
Exactly, bingo.
Yeah, Lee Schreiber's in that, and Chuck, yeah.
Dope. He must like boxing.
He just likes making money.
That too.
He's like, I just take this role too.
And maybe it's a coincidence, but I don't know. 2 boxing movies, I don't know.
Hey man, fucking his money. Robert De Niro keep doing fucking Scorsese shit. I'm sure it's just, hey,
that's true.
How much money you got? All right, fuck it, I'll do it.
Send me the bag, fam. Send me
the bag, B. Hurricane, buckets of popcorn. I'm giving it, I'm going 3.5. Not as nostalgic with me. I was already in college when it came out. I watched it and I was like, that's cool, good shit. And I enjoyed the story, but it didn't pack. Again, this is it's very subjective. It didn't have that nostalgia. If it comes on TV, I think I might not watch it. But if I see Diggstown, I'm going with Diggstown. You see what I'm saying? So I go 3.5, which I got
4 buckets.
I'm giving it 5 plunges. I'm giving it 5 plunges. 5 plunges and 3 bags of swag.
And 2 wrenches. And 2 wrenches.
Yeah. And a Snickers.
4 buckets of popcorn for me.
I like that. Yeah.
I'll give it that because it actually happened. It doesn't get 5 because, pretty much Denzel carried the whole movie.
For sure. Yeah, that's a great point. For sure.
I think there could have been stronger performance.
No one else really stands out. Like
right.
you forget Lee Schreiber in the background.
He's quiet. He's quiet as fuck. Yeah. He got like 3 lines in that shit.
Yeah, it's all Denzel.
So yeah, I think that's one of those movies that where they're like, yo, listen, man, this shit really happened. You be good for it. Everybody else not gonna do too much acting, but we'll get through it. We'll get 4.
I'm a Denzel fan, man, so I'm there too. I actually didn't see this movie until for this, until we started talking about it. So I'm like, I feel like I gotta get some more watches on it, but I'm a Denzel fan. I'm giving it three bucks.
So let's get some more of your analysis, man, because you say you just watched it, right? And
no, well, I watched it. Yeah, I watched it today.
And
it's one of the things where I gotta.
Now, I would like to know more of your thoughts, because again, man, I saw this. Maybe came out at like 99, and then I caught it maybe 2000, and then I see it when it comes on like on HBO shit. But for a person who just watched it today, right? It's this new freshness in your mind. So I would like to get a little more take on what you think on the movie.
I'll say I feel like I've been tainted from the boxing movies of now, like the Creeds and the. It's more like it's not about a story. It's more about the bright lights and the fights and the punches and the cinematography. And so when I started watching these movies, especially that last movie, I started watching this like, I don't know, kind of was slow, man. I don't know, a lot's going on for me too, but I don't know, I felt like it was drawn out. And to Mother's point was like, because it really happened, I really wanted to tap in, right? His experience in jail, just to see what he was going through, that stood out to me. But Denzel doing what Denzel do, I'm always a fan of that. I just think like when I start pairing it up to what I've seen recently, like what they make boxing movies to be now, I don't, yeah, I've been kind of saying those were all right. I've been saying Creed was okay. Like now it's kind of like it's a different depth of like character building. It's a different depth of like the experience a person is going through. Movies now don't have that. So even to say like I don't know, Southpaw and these other type of movies, I don't know.
I think that's a solid and very well thought out analysis, because I mean you're right. Again, the movie is what 25 years old. Holy shit, 25 years old.
It's a long time. It's a whole.
And you're right. It like we said earlier, it wasn't based around the fights, right? It wasn't, and even the fights were like black and white, right? To let you know that it was a flat. Right, so they weren't really based on fighting scenes. Yet it was more about this the situation that he was placed into, which is like I said, it's kind of slow moving. So if you want, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you're, and that's what I wanted to ask you, if you're into a movie like Creed, this may not be for you, right? But if you want to learn about the horrible situation in which this man was placed into by fucking racist cops and a racist system, I think it'll be a good watch for you guys. So, the young boys and girls.
And for me, bro, it goes beyond a little bit of boxing, right? Like you said, the injustice and kind of like the racist elements. And movies now don't have that. It's just about the punches. And the great cinematography, the punch looked fire, but it was not about the boxing as much as it was about the human element. And so yeah, it's 3.5 bucks.
I respect that. I mean, and it's wild because it's a movie about racism, but one of the most racist things that've been documented, I think we could tap into with the next movie. And the next movie is, again, I am so glad that Muggs brought this up and shit. He's like, yo, man, watch this. And I've known about this dude for quite some time, but the name escapes you because it's just so fucking plain. But it's the story, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, of Chuck Wepner. And Muggs like, yo, man, we were talking on the phone earlier. I was trying to rent his baby. I was like, how much, man? Come on, man, rent me your baby. He's like, 10 G's. I'm like, per hour? He's like, yeah. I'll get you. And you'll get that, Muggs. I love to just call him a little bit like, yo, just say crazy shit and see where that takes the rest of your day. Yeah, it's hilarious. So it's the story of Chuck Wepner. Chuck Wepner was the inspiration to Rocky. It really blew my tits how much I love this fucking movie, right? And we're gonna use, again, inspiration loosely. 2016, Lee Shriver, Chuck Wepner went 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali, which I guess what inspired Sylvester Stallone to say, oh, look, white boxer. He was known as a Bayonne bleeder, so yo, inspired by this white fucking brawler. Or they called him, what do they call it? A ham and egg boxer. I saw that shit online. A ham and egg boxer. I'm like, damn, you call you ham and eggs? Yeah, that sucks. A ham and egg boxer, and then takes on Muhammad Ali because Don King was like, yo, man, let's get a white boxer we can fucking knock out. Like similar to like fucking like Tyson and McNeely. I don't know if you guys remember that shit. Fucking McNeely came to the ring and Tyson knocked him out like fucking half a second. But it's like, yo, man, let's get this like kind of race thing going here. And Muhammad Ali had just fucking fought in Zaire, and then yo, let's get this dude. Who do you want to get? Well, let's get fucking Chuck Wepner. And Chuck goes 15 rounds, right? And loses. And I guess Sylvester Stallone's like, I can rewrite this story, and then does. So Chuck, 2016, started off.
Possibly Liv Schreiber's best performance ever.
Wow.
Possibly. When we talk about stepping into a role and stepping into somebody who has lived, let alone somebody who's still alive, I don't think I've seen him any better.
Yo, all right, you know Ray Donovan got like Emmys and shit, right? Ray Donovan.
I liked Ray Donovan. I liked Ray Donovan, but the last couple seasons of Ray Donovan got very TV-ish. The problem is that good TV shows start off like great movies. And then over the seasons, they become more TV-ish. And I don't like TV. I don't like TV. You know what I'm saying? I really don't like any of the shows that are on TV. It's like, okay, I equate TV to fast food. You know?
Wow.
I equate TV to shit like that, bro, because it's like this is made very specifically for a specific demographic at a specific time. There's canned laughter. The stories are stupid. You have me programmed to laugh at shit that's not funny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But listen, that's enough of my TV rant.
No, that's a great point because no, it's a very great point, and we should never let's evolve that point because you're absolutely fucking correct, right? When a show gets popular, they start adding more writers, right, to appeal to more people. This is the thing about capital, right? It's like, oh, I got a good product, but I don't know a fuck how good it is, how marketable is it, right? So then you start expanding the booty hole of the project. You want everybody to fucking get in there, right? And then that's what destroys your fucking product. That's what destroys your product. And I think you're absolutely correct. A good show should start off letting you know that there's gonna be a fucking end to this, B. Right?
Right. There's an end in sight.
Yeah, there's an end in sight. There's gonna be fucking concise things. It's gonna be compact. And no, bro. Next thing you know, it's 16 fucking seasons later. You're like, huh? It's still on TV? For real? People still watching that?
They want to milk it. They want to milk it as long as possible.
The most powerful TV shows in the last 10 years have been at most 7 episodes per season. So you look at Northwater, you look at the first season of True Detective, you look at a couple other instances where it's like, we're going to give you just one story per season.
Yeah.
It's going to be a concise story, and like you said, there's an end in sight. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, and that was a good point. I think that's what makes True Detective work, and I also think that's what makes Fargo work, right? Because
absolutely. That's
you know what I mean? You come in and you're like, yeah, hold on. This is a different story. Right, it's because you know there's a fucking end, yo. You're like, oh shit. So it's witty writing. It gives you the little hints that you need, and you know that there's 10 episodes, and you know it's gonna end in 10th episode, right? Not fucking Not something that's like, yo, hold on. How do you explain that? Because you can see the writing, right? You can see the evolution of writing. You can see how they incorporate writers to extend these storylines that do not deserve to be extended, right? They don't. Right. You know what I mean? You don't need to watch me take a shit for 20 minutes. You just need to know that I took a shit, right?
No, I agree with that. There's something special in knowing that there's only going to be 5 episodes of this particular story. They're not going to elaborate on it. They're not going to bring the characters back. You know what I'm saying? You're going to get these 5 episodes, and next season it'll be something different.
See, the thing is that it's also, I hate to use these cliches, but a double-edged sword, because this is one of the big things that the writers were striking about, is that the minimal work, right? When you do 10 fucking episodes, you're like, yo, but man, I don't get paid. activists. You know, like there's no consistency in labor.
Right, and, but at the same time, not to cut you off, but at the same time, you know, I understand that.
Yeah.
But things are changing, and people don't. I don't think people want to be locked in for 20 episodes per season anymore.
No.
You know,
they at least pay the guys that make it. Pay them more.
That's my point, babe.
Right?
That's
For
my
sure.
point, yo.
For sure.
Pay them and give them their fucking royalties, bro. You know how hard it is to get into the fucking writing game, man. I've looked at this for years because I would love to write something, but I'm fucking 45 years old. I'm not trying to be a fucking like a staff writer, get motherfuckers coffee over here, fucking jerking dudes off just to get my writing.
To your point, your deal might be this, and we're paying after 10 plus episodes, but we've been doing these runs of 7, and 7 didn't hit that ledger. 7 didn't hit the requirement, so we're not going to pay out. And so yeah, maybe like you said, the world is different. Where we might not want that as consumers, but if you want these guys to do their job, pay them to do their job.
Exactly.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Overpay them to do their job. Stop paying some of the other motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But the problem is,
and you paying these actors a whole lot.
We're talking about a system. Studio
heads are still collecting bonuses.
For real,
you do nothing, bro. Shut the fuck up. I mean, you know, it's a wild thing when they crush a franchise like that. She was pretty good, or something that could have moved into, or like I was mentioning with the Ocean series, and it's like, oh well, it's not profitable. I was like, yo man, you made 5 times more than you invested in just one movie. How the fuck is that not profitable, right? Or like, oh yeah, you lost 10 million on this movie, but oh man, you're Universal. You've been making fucking profit for a very while. Why are we forced to dwell in your small margin profit loss and not fucking be fucking outraged at all the other shit that you fucking do?
It's the American condition. The more we make, the more we spend. So you get a high position in one of these film companies, you're making a lot of money, boop, boop, boop. But now, to keep your position, to keep the respect that you've earned and you feel you've garnished, you got to keep up with the Joneses. And every year that gets more expensive.
Word up. So, I mean, speaking of spending, fucking Chuck. Chuck goes back to, as well, because I mentioned this before I even watched it, was, again, the carnival act that is boxing, fucking carnival act. And I think it opens up to like him kind of washed up and having to fight a fucking bear. And listen, guys, if you ever see me fighting a bear, someone just grab a pistol, a spatula, and just get me in the head, B. Someone take me the fuck out, bro. If you see me rhyming at a bar mitzvah, shoot me, nigga. Kill me, bro. If you see me fucking just like, yo, I called Muggs and I told him, I told a story about the little fight I had last week, right? I told that shit last week. So, go reading here this one. So I'm on the fucking train, and it's 59th Street, doggy. And it's 59th Street, fucking Columbus Circle. I'm walking in, and there's a motherfucker doing a handstand, doggy. And there's like, yeah, be like he's doing his whole like, hey everybody, I'm doing my little hip hop dance, right? And I'm walking in, and I kind of like walk by him, and this motherfucker gets tight, and he kind of tries to trick me. And I'm like, what the fuck? He's like, yo, dude, what up? He's like, yo, man, I'm over here doing my show, mate. Yo, man, the door's open. Like, any professional mariachi band will tell you, once the shit pulls into the station, start pulling that hat out, B. Start getting your So he's like, yo, and he starts getting mad because I start mind fucking him. I'm like, yo, dude, you wilding out over here. You doing handstands on a dirty ass fucking train floor. It had just snowed. He had no fucking gloves on. I was like, you man, unsanitary, God. And so I'm fucking playing. I'm fucking with this thing. He's like, yo, I'm out here trying to do something positive. I'm like, yo, man, what's positive about you fucking doing handstands on a train? He's like, yelling. I'm like, yo, man, why don't you just take your act and go back to the fucking bum dude strip club, man? Go try your luck over there. And this motherfucker tries to fucking like square up with me. I'm like, oh man, I got a shirt and tie on. I'm like, oh, this is not a good time to square up. So I just keep making jokes and I try to back him off. But eventually, we had to call the cops. This dude had a speaker in his hand. He was about to fucking hip hop array me to death. But the point is, I'm like, yo, dude, respect your art. You ever see me out there fucking rhyming for change? Someone killed me, dude. Things are really, really bad.
Things are really, really bad. It's facts, though.
It is, baby. Come on.
Good. All right, back to Chuck. So another, just a couple notes I had. He was a notorious womanizer, despite being married to a lovely woman who loved him. His wife actually loved him. He couldn't seem to get out of his own way.
I mean, he was a straight loser. I mean, guys, again, it's fun to watch because, like I was saying, Rocky is part of the zeitgeist, right? Rocky, the movie, the Rocky shit. Come on, man, come on, beat. Rocky killed a Russian, God. Like Rocky fought a robot Russian in Russia and trained in the snows of Russia. Never even been there. He can't get a passport. He never left Philly, right? So, man, even the Rocky, what he called AIDS and shit, there's mad Rockies out there. I mean, the Creed movies, those shits go back to Rocky's pockets, right? And what's wild is that Rocky, what he did when they wrote Rocky was that they really did not reflect on Chuck Wepner's life, dude. Chuck Wepner Rocky is Adrian, party little racist, Mick, but Rocky is this clay-minded fucking imbecile. He wants to love Adrian, But fucking Chuck Wepner was a fucking maniac. The man sold liquor for a living. So Rocky is inspiration, love, family, and fucking Chuck is hookers, cocaine, and liquor. Two different fucking lives, right? Which is wild. It's a wild contrast. But to see how this man, again, was so idiotic that he heard that Rocky was, I guess, motivated by his fight with Muhammad Ali, that you remember he kept going around telling people he was Rocky.
That speaks to my point about him not being able to get out of his own way, right? Rocky comes out, it's massive. He winds up not really chasing Stallone around, but he gets a line on where he's going to be at a specific day. He goes to the restaurant, he meets him. Turns out Stallone's been wanting to meet him too, but sometimes when people like Sylvester Stallone, stars like that, they have ecosystems around them. It's hard to get through sometimes. Anyway, links with Sylvester Stallone, and he actually writes him a part for Rocky 2. He's supposed to be in Philadelphia, I think, to audition for it sometime early in the morning. Him, his best friend, and two hookers at the club have been out all night, right? They've been out all night, they're partying. He gets to the audition, everybody's fucked up. He's so delusional that he thinks that him, his friends, and the two girls are going to be able to go into the audition to meet Sylvester Stallone. He just thinks that it's one big party, and he completely flops and ruins the audition. And by the time he gets in the car, he's so upset and distraught that he winds up smashing his head against the steering wheel. And it goes back to, it kind of just reiterates the fact of needing to be reinforced by physical trauma to deal with the emotional pain.
Oh, first of all, that dude played fucking Sylvester Stallone. That was wild. Did they use...
He did good. He did good.
He did. He definitely did. But did they use the real Sylvester Stallone's voice as a voiceover?
I don't think so. I think that was the actor's voice, because that actor's voice is kind of similar to it, and I think it was
very, very good, dude.
Right. It was some type of audio adjustment, but that actor's voice is similar to Sylvester Stallone's voice.
Yeah, I thought he did like a voiceover and shit. When you look it up, when you look up the movie and to see the cast, Sylvester Stallone gets a casting credit in that shit. I guess because he uses his name. I don't know, but the dude was pretty spot on. Right, and
it could have been him then. If that's the case, it could have been him.
I mean, no, it definitely wasn't him. I got to the TV and I put my glasses on. It was definitely a younger man.
Nah, I'm talking about the voiceover.
The voiceover, I got to look into that a little more. But there is a massive ego issue as well there, right? Because they showed up late to that meeting. And this whole, like, he hadn't even read he was bragging about the script and hadn't even read that shit, but yet was over here with his dick out in the pool, remember? And fucking doing lines of blow and drinking straight out the bottle. Was like, yeah, it's gonna be fun times. And a disrespect for the art, right? He walked away and he was happy with just people. Remember, he's like, yo, just call me champ. I was like, motherfucker, you don't have a belt. What the fuck is wrong with you? You're not even a champion, bro. Like, he was living in this fucking world that it was all on his own. Delusions. Very delusional.
No, I'll agree with that.
Call me champ. And there was people hyping him up. I mean, I've never lived that life, bro. Like, I've never lived a small town life, but I bet it would play on my ego if I walked in everywhere to every bar and dudes like, yo, Rhino, what up, yo? And Shorty's like, yo, can I suck your dick? And I'm like, I'm married, but I'll suck your dick right now. I was like, she won't know. You know, I don't know what that is, man. I don't know what that feels like, but I mean, some people can't live with it, especially when people who get punched in the face for a living. It's pretty hard to fucking ask of these people to say, hey, think logically. No, they're not. And it's wild because, again, the contrast, right? Fucking this dude, Rocky's willing to like die for Adrian. He's like, Adrian, oh my God, Adrian. And you see that, right? Until Mr. T's like, yo, come here, woman. Come here, woman. You've had a big black dick in your pussy. What the fuck? That's what's crazy. Fucking Chuck. It's like he only seeks his wife when something really good happens, right? And it's like, no, it's for us. He's like, no, it's not. It's for you because you want me around and celebrate it for you. But then again, when in celebration, you break the fuck out, right? Very similar to like, when he went to go visit his brother. Oh, he bought a plant and some alcohol.
One of the best scenes. Michael Rappaport is his brother, by the way.
Yes, and right now I have this thing. I still follow him just because, but this guy's a fucking loser.
Real quick, you said Michael Rappaport's his brother?
Pretty sure older brother or younger brother.
I think it's a younger.
Okay.
It's, you know what? It's such a good scene because he comes in. By now, you already know what kind of guy he is, right? Yeah. And he comes in out of nowhere. His brother's wife answers the door. You can tell that she doesn't like him. His brother comes down. He's like, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? And he's like, oh, well, the movie's out. The movie won. He's like, well, what are you talking about? It's Rocky. He's like, okay, so? You won an Oscar. So? You wonder why the brother is treating him like this, right? You're like, damn, he's really laying on him, right? But then as he's walking out the door, he doesn't even remember if his brother's child is a girl or a boy, or the name. So it's like, it's such a quick glimpse into years of their relationship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and years of his delusion. But you know what? I kind of do respect that because me and my brother the same way. I haven't spoken to that motherfucker in years. And is he alive? No, he's alive. My mom tells me so. But I'm kidding. But you're right. That delusion is it, and I think one of the other scenes that does that is like, 3 years later, and he's I love this shit. I'm glad I remember it. When he has to go to the meeting at the Catholic school for his daughter.
Damn.
And he's like, yo, I'm fucked up. And his boy's like, you want to do a bump? He's like, yeah. This motherfucker goes and does blow before entering a Catholic school, which, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, is the only way I finished the 8th grade. And goes into, that shit was funny, man, you laugh. So he goes in and he meets the fucking teacher, right? And grabs the report card, and the report card was upside down, right? Upside down, and then, yo, man, and the teacher's like, hey, Mr. Webber. He's like, nah, don't call me Mr. Webber, man. Call me Chuck or the champ. He's like,
call me the champ.
Like, what? Look, it's 8:30 in the fucking morning, man. We're in Catholic school. The champ. And he's obviously so fucking fucked up. And his wife is like, I'm sorry. She keeps like apologizing and shit. And he I don't know why he thought he was a poet, but then brings out the poem that he wrote his daughter and shit. So eventually that meeting went to shit.
That shit was the last straw. He bought that fucking poem out and it was like, nah.
He said, my darling little girl, I wish I had all the cocaine in the world just to show you how I'm the champ.
God damn, man. Chuck Wepner, the Bayonne Peter.
Well, again, man, very, very different contrast from Rocky. And he kept saying, I'm Rocky, I'm Rocky, I'm Rocky. that lie in the club where he's like, yo, right? He's like, yeah, man, you know, Stallone gave me. He said I have either 70 G's or 1% of the box office, but I took 70 G's because you know what, man, I ain't know about the business aspect. He's like, oh shit, boy, and he just buy somebody a drink. He's like, yo, get the cheap shit, man. I made that whole story up. It's putting on that facade, man. Putting on that.
Isn't that crazy though?
It is.
A whole story about me, and I got nothing from it.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that fighter's world is something that is a piece of adrenaline that I've never really had. Man, I play fucking organized football and shit. I've cracked a couple of heads, and it's you know, it's always a team. Hey. But when you're in that ring, man, and you're fucking just wailing on somebody, or you're being wailed upon, I think Ron Perlman did a great fucking job in the flick. Yeah, great fucking job.
Trainer. Yep.
Yeah. And you're, you know, constantly, you know, being fucking gassed up, and you know, people are looking up to you, and it's all you. I mean, you can get delusional, bro. I mean, you can. And then you know you can fuck people up. Like I said, I used to hang out with a boxer, dude. I mean, eventually we had to stop hanging out because he went to jail. But it was always like, yo, trying to put hands on people. And I'm like, yo, man, we can talk our way out of this. Like, nah, yo, we gonna fight. I'm like, yeah, but you can fight. Like, yeah, you got the hands, not me.
Right. And it's like, you know what the funny thing is like, I see motherfuckers who can't fight. And know they can't fight, but still fight every day. So it's like it's something in you, man. It's something in you where it's like you're not fighting the person that you're actually physically fighting. You're fighting yourself. You know what I'm saying? You're fighting something inside.
But we didn't get that from Chuck, right? Because
no, not at all. Not at all.
We did. I mean, we knew. What was it? There was an issue at home. There definitely was an issue at home, right? He definitely had issues at home, but we didn't get that in the movie in a sense of like, yo, man, these issues is what made him, you know. We found out that somebody took his like football or basketball or some shit, and then he got punched in the face, like, I could take a punch, and then knocked him out, and the dude got his brother or whatever, and then he punched him, so I could always take a punch. I'm like, ooh, that's pretty fucking weird. Where did you learn that skill?
Shit, on the job training.
On life training, right? Yeah, it's funny. I went to a fight with somebody, and I was like, yo, man, come on, bro, back the fuck up. I've been hit by stronger women than you. He did not like that.
No. I need to take offense to that shit.
That's damn right should, goddammit. Fuck it.
I got a little background. On
please.
Chuck Wepner. All right, so in 1974, Chuck Wepner beats Terry Hinkey, the Stormin' Mormon. He's supposed to fight George Foreman, but then, because the general opinion at the time was that George Foreman was going to beat up Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
Right? Didn't happen. Ali won. Next thing you know, Chuck Wepner gets the one chance in a lifetime chance to go fight for the heavyweight championship, right?
Yeah.
I think, you know, nobody expected Chuck Wepner to win, and he didn't win, right? Nobody expected him to last 15 rounds. Right? And also nobody expected him to knock. Now, the knockdown is controversial.
Yeah, he stuck on his foot, something like that.
There's a picture of Chuck Wepner stepping on his foot, and they said that that's what, you know, caused him to lose his balance. But the fact that the dude lasted 15 rounds with Muhammad Ali, basically getting his ass beat the whole time. Listen.
It's impressive. Never
take Rocky.
Yeah, never. I mean, I would never take away that. Hell no. I couldn't last a round with anybody. 15 rounds. That's something to be proud of, right? Yet you're not a champ. Like, you didn't win. That's the thing about like other like team sports and shit. Right? It's like, yo, I didn't win. So I shouldn't be wearing this, right? Or I shouldn't be calling myself something that I'm not, yo. I'm not a champ. You're not a fucking champ. You got your ass beat. Thank you for the opportunity. Which is why I looked it up. I think he got like $100,000 for that fight. And Ali got 1.5 million. Right there tells you you are not the champ, bro. And that fight was in Cleveland? Fucking Cleveland? Not at all, yo. Fuck out of here. Watch you fucking Scott Norwood over here. Fucking they put this Bills shit out. Bills went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row. And, which is wild, 4 times, and they got beat all 4 times by fucking NFC East teams. Crazy. Scott Norwood missed that fucking 46-yarder against the Giants. And, to this day, that motherfucker be crying. Like, the city was so nice to me. My teammates were nice to me. I'm like, I thought he blew his brains out years ago. He's still alive. The motherfuckers, dude, come on, man. And everybody remembers that shit. But to this day, this motherfucker be crying about it. And again, he got into the Super Bowl the year after that. Nobody remembers that shit, right? But there is a reflection, right? A reflection on your losses in order to make you a better person. That's my point, right? You have to reflect on your losses to make you a fucking better person. But if you're walking around getting fucked up and still calling yourself the champ, you are walking on some wild fucking reality eggshells there, B.
No, that's for sure. I would agree with that.
Again, shouts from Ron Perlman. He went to George Washington High School. Yeah, B. I tutored him. he went there when the neighborhood was all white. The Dominicans came and Puerto Ricans fucked it up. Oh, the fact that he's fucking still alive is fantastic, right?
I really like that. Yeah. They showed him and his new wife at the end of the movie.
Yeah, I mean, and what's wild is like it was the womanizing thing, but then he got with the shorty that had his same birthday, which was bananas.
Wow.
That's funny. He's like, yo, man, it's William Furley and Jackie Gleason, and he starts naming dudes, and she's like, who the fuck is that? He's like, William Furley from I Love Lucy. So he's like, all you can name is just fat fucking actors and us. Like, eventually they get together after he did a stint, right? Which was wild. Like, we didn't know he was selling blow, but just like out of nowhere, he's copping 2 ounces, and the dude snitched right in front of his face. Gangster.
Yo, I would have knew from that phone call though, bro. I'd have knew from that phone, yo, you come and cop 50s, nigga. Why the fuck you buying 2 ounces all of a sudden? I can't do it.
But we didn't even know he was selling it.
He wasn't selling it. He was just middlemaning it.
Oh.
He was just middlemaning it. He said, yo, you said you need 2 ounces? All right, I'll call my guy. And listen, I get it, but damn, kid. That shit wild.
Yeah, that's what I be. If your man needs something, he only doing 20s and 50s, and next thing you know, you want $800 worth, or like 2 G's or some shit. It's like, don't do it, bro. Something is fishy. So he does his thing. Oh no, what was dope was back to the brother, right? Again, Michael Rappaport. So he is the brother, and this dude makes bail, and they're like, oh shit, who? Because remember, he thinks that people don't love him. That's why he's like, yo, call me the champ, because that's when he feels loved. So he kind of, and the shorty was like, yo, man, you gotta, after this, but she's like, yo, you gotta understand, there are people who love you. People, yeah, but you have to understand that you have to let them in. Again, back to what we were talking about. You have to let them in, because you're not letting them in, right? So he goes and he gets bailed out. Brother's obviously fucking tight. He's like, yo, do drugs for real, bro. Like, come on. They get in the car, and his wife is, the brother's wife is like, yo, people love you, man. I mean, I know this guy talks shit about you, but he made us all go to Cleveland and watch the fight with you and Ali. He's like, oh shit, y'all were there? She was like, yeah. He mortgages his house to get this motherfucker out, right? And starts realizing that he does have fucking family.
Right. Do you think that kind of, okay, so that mixed with the going to go to jail for however long he went, do you think that kind of was the light on that he needed to kind of just,
I mean,
back to True North?
There's one thing about people who feel like they're not loved, and then they just want to be in the party all the time and shit. And you can getting locked up, first of all, will help you understand who the fuck is with you. Now, back to that boxer dude who was a very good friend of mine, and he's locked up, and he be trying to hit me up, and I'm like, I think this friendship is over. I mean, don't wreck me. You figure out who's your man and who's not, right? And that was the one thing, is that he was a good person, right? Like, he wasn't a dude that was out there fucking bullying people. He wasn't beating his wife. He was just cheating on her. I'm not saying I'm not, whatever. But he wasn't a violent individual. right? He was a happy fucking drunk, and he just liked to drink, do drugs, and bone shorties. But he wasn't this evil fucking person. He had to remain likable.
Right. Wine, women, and song.
Well, yeah, exactly. And just a big idiot in reality. Remember that scene where he's like practicing what his first line is going to be to Sylvester Stallone? He's like, oh, listen, and he's just practicing that shit. It's like, dude, what's wrong with you? But I think that's one thing that kind of saves his character, and why when he comes out, he then, has the shorty, and they stay together for a very long time. After that traumatic fucking experience, it's like, yo, I'm good. I'm just gonna stay with this person who fucking loves me, washing my drawers, and that's it. Shit like that, man. But again, complete contrast. Nothing about his actual personal life is reflected in the character of Rocky. And I read that eventually Sylvester Stallone gave him money.
Right. I don't know if it was after the movie came out or before the movie came out, but he did get with him, and yeah, he got.
It was after. He gave him a undisclosed amount. It was a settlement that was it was undisclosed, right? But gave him something. Right? Gave him something.
Listen, I hope he got a couple $1 million.
I doubt that, because at the end of the movie they say that he still was doing his liquor run. I doubt it.
Kid, he gave him like 10 bands. He gave him like 10,000. Damn. So you see how, listen, bro. But you know what? That speaks to having your ducks in a row.
Yeah, if you
want to make a movie of you, bro, you better go get all your legal shit together.
But the thing is that you have to also prove what about that movie reflects you, right? You could be inspired by someone, right? And really, when you see the movie, it's only the tale of a bum white fucking boxer taking on the real champ for 15 rounds, and that's all you really have with Rocky and fucking and Creed. That's all you have. But everything else, there is nothing that is reflected of Chuck Wepner's life in the Rocky series. Nothing. So it's pretty difficult to be like, yo, man, I'm gonna give you a couple of million. Like, hold up. You're not. No. I didn't use your image. I didn't use your image. I didn't use your life. I didn't use your story. All I did was draw the inspiration from your bum ass into another bum ass, right? From Bayonne to Philly, baby. You know what I mean? Right. So I mean, what can you really sue for? You have no evidence of that. So I guess, all right. It was a bit of charity.
That's a good point.
I mean, seriously, like, what are you going to do? Like, come on. Like, what are you going to do? I didn't use your name. I didn't even use your city. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking nothing. I think they mentioned the running on the stairs. What the fuck don't run upstairs? Come on, man.
Shout out to the people that live in tenements.
Oh, but we also learned that Bayonne finally gave him a statue just like Rocky. That's interesting. And if you go see the statue in Bayonne, New Jersey, if you tickle him in the stomach, he bleeds from his eyes. So I think that's the good rabbit hole Chuck right there, man. So Chuck, what do y'all give it?
I give Chuck 3.5 buckets of popcorn.
I would do 3 buckets too. I would do that.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I think directing wise, it was pretty well done. I'm gonna go. I just saw it. I'm gonna do 3. I'm gonna do 3. You know what? I'll do 3.5 because deadass. If I see it again, I will watch it.
Nice. So why do you give it 3.5? What are your reasons?
Because I think it's all of, like, when you ask me in one word, what's up with Chuck? And I said, what do you think about it? And I was like, yo, I think it's necessary, right? Because again, the story of Rocky is, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, man. Fucking Rocky was fucking Rocky, God. Like, I mean, still to this day, Rocky give you the 1, 2, 3, and 4 and shit. Sometimes they stop at 5 and shit, but they'll give you that shit. Like, it's part of the zeitgeist once again, man. It's fucking Oscars. It's fucking Rocky, dude. It's like talking about Jurassic Park. It's a fucking thing in America. And to be indoctrinated by these fucking movies. Come on, you cannot. The references to Rocky, bro. The drinking of the eggs in the cup, like, you got fucking bomb chasing a chicken. Come on, bro. Like, in my rhymes, I got mad fucking Rocky references. You know what I mean? You can't win. Come Come on.
Right.
That shit, the sound bites alone, right, are insane to me, right? It's part of our fucking culture. And to know that, you know, there was this person that inspired that, I think people have to know that. So in making this movie, I think it was necessary. And if you were a movie watching motherfucker, go out there and watch this flick and see how this person was impacted by the movie Rocky when he thought it was about him. Like, I think it's very poetic that at the end they're on the fucking boardwalk and they're opening up what is that shit? Planet Hollywood, right? And there's a little Rocky fucking statue in the front, and he takes a picture with it. You know what? Yeah, 3.5 I think is great, right? Because I think this is one of the best directorial scenes in the movie, where she takes a picture with him, like hugging the Rocky statue with a Polaroid, and then they're walking away, and then they toss the picture. The picture gets tossed on the boardwalk, and then the camera goes up to the picture, and it's the actual picture.
It's the real picture.
It's the real picture. I think. Yeah, you know what? I'll go to 4. Fuck it, I'll go to 4.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, wow. He went to 4. That's a guaranteed rewatch. That's a guaranteed rewatch.
Hell yeah.
Let's go. That's fire. I'm happy about that. I really like Chuck, man. I really enjoy it. The only thing that gets it for me is like, I think it's such a good story. I think it was such, I wanted more. It's a very kind of Cliff Note-y movie. You know what I'm saying? It skims through eras of his life, and that's what we usually, I guess, expect. 3.5 buckets of popcorn for me.
Yeah, man. I would definitely watch it again, and I already told like 3 people today to watch it.
Nice.
Because I know they're Rocky fans. I'm like, you're a Rocky fan. You're watching Chuck, man. I think it's a. I mean, when you said more, it sort of got my mind kind of those things. When you said more, I wanted. You're right. I wanted to see more of like the downturn. I wanted to see more of the drug abuse. I wanted to see, I don't know, maybe he lost his job. I don't know. I want to see more of that.
It almost felt for as low as it got, there was lower, but you're not showing. Right?
Yeah.
Right. And I get that. Out of respect. I understand.
Word. So that's our joints. Obscure boxing flicks. We did Diggstown, 1992. Motherfucking The Hurricane, 1989. And Chuck, 2016. I mean, we can do this forever. There's so many fucking boxing movies. We skipped the obvious, the Raging Bulls. Oh, this is the last thing. Because this is so difficult, and I don't think any of these movies did that well. And it's one thing that really sells me when it comes, especially to sports movies, right? That I pick out very quickly because I watch sports. And it's the choreography, right? We'll end on this one, the choreography. If you're going to watch a boxing movie or a baseball movie or something, the choreography is extremely important, right? And these movies do not do a great job. I mean, Rocky alone is atrocious. Atrocious.
Right.
There is no technique that could tell you, oh man, this guy actually knows how to box. It was like, it was very savage. Again, these movies do not do that for you. Choreography in the boxing ring, what do you guys think?
In general, when it comes to choreography in movies, I think listen, it's one of those things that you can have as many boxers on the sidelines coaching the actor on how to move, but if this guy hasn't been in the ring going through it for a certain amount of time, it's not going to translate. You know what I'm saying? I also think, yeah, bro, like, yeah, it's a big problem with fighting movies. I'm thinking of a lot of fighting movies, like a damn Rolodex in my brain of just fighting movies with bad fight choreography. You know.
Important. My point is, invest in the choreography.
I would agree because they spend, George Lucas and them will spend all that money to train Samuel L. Jackson to fight jiu-jitsu and swing around a lightsaber. We're not gonna put no effort into making sure this guy can box when he get on. So you know what I mean? So it's like, I would say, yeah, it makes sense. But if you're really trying to convey that this dude can really do what he do, right? If he's for to play piano, you should learn to play piano. For to be a superstar drummer, why don't you learn to play the drums? You know what I mean?
Okay.
But I would just finalize that by saying, like, you know what? Movies now are so much about the action And so you're just gonna give me the heavy punches like what I was saying, Creed and all this. If it's just about the punches, then you don't got no story. So these movies have more story, have more depth in the character, and that's what the benefit in that.
Word. I mean, or at least, I mean now because it's a different environment when you're actually shooting, right? So I mean, clean up the angles, right? Clean up the angles, man. Take particular shots that make it look like they're actually fucking fighting versus, I mean, some dude just straight brawling. So that's it. Well, I mean, we could do this again in the future. We will. Other boxing movies, maybe do like a Raging Bull, some shit. I mean, it happens.
True classics, the true classics. Right.
Word, and I mean, there are massive fucking other sports joints that we're definitely gonna plan out for you guys right here on Lights, Cameras, Distraction. I don't know. It just popped into my head because it's another one that every time I fucking see it, I cannot. You want to hear some bugged out shit? This is the assignment for next week, ladies and boys and girls. And I the other day, I won't lie, man. I'm like a little fat girl. I'll tell you when I eat a bucket of ice cream. I don't give a fuck. And the other day, I had the perfect mix of swag and goods, and I watched Four Brothers back to back, dude. Four Brothers back to back. Of course, baby. Right. Of course. So I don't know if you guys want to do it. I think it'd be cool. Do Four Brothers next week.
I like Four Brothers. I think we should do Four Brothers.
I have a
suggestion for the one after Four Brothers, though.
Do it.
I wish to do Concussion with Will Smith.
Will Smith? Okay.
This is the sports movie.
It's
a sports movie.
By CTE, right?
Yeah, it's a very heavy-handed movie. It's a lot of shit.
Heavy-handed. Heavy-handed. I don't know. I think it's a great. It's
a slap reference.
Yeah, it's a great pun, bro. Heavy-handed. He smacked Chris Rock. It's good. Will Smith. I don't know, bro. I'm still on the Will Smith band.
So listen, we'll think about it.
Yeah.
Will Smith band.
Yeah.
So Four Brothers for next week.
Yeah, Four Brothers, man. And then
Let's do it.
I think it's a great flick, man. Fucking utilizes the city of Detroit very well. It's got some good acting in there. And Tyrese don't cry, so.
Oh man, it's a good day when Tyrese is crying on the film.
Yeah, it's funny. Yesterday, what the fuck, man? Hulu got Baby Boy. They were like, "You want to watch Baby Boy?" And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here! I don't want to watch no Baby Boy." Fucking anybody who gets.
I'll tell you what. Baby Boy is a very, very good social commentary about black male California life.
Yo.
You know what I will say? I agree.
It's a ridiculous movie. The movie's fucking stupid, right?
Yeah.
But when you break it down to the fucking skeletons of that movie,
hell yeah,
that's a direct mirror of what they're going through on the West Coast.
Yeah, B.
I agree.
You need a daddy, bro.
Validate.
You need a daddy on any coast. Yeah, B.
Right.
For real.
Right. You know what
But also, what they say in the very beginning, Dr. Francis Quest Wilson, that quote, that the black man never really grow up. Remember they was zooming out of the mother, it was Tyrese in the womb.
He's in the fucking womb.
They were saying that the black man never grow up because he calls his friends a boy, he calls his girl mama. Exactly. Right. And that was from her book. So it was like, if nothing else, I was like, that validated the madness that was after it because the point is still valid.
You got to remember it's John Singleton, right? And he's great for the Hollywoodish, the bright Hollywoodish shit, but with the real South Central message. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That was a gem in the beginning of that. You didn't about the first 10 minutes.
The movie is good. Tyrese is just bad. The movie is good. Tyrese is just bad. If it was somebody else,
Ving Rhames did his thing.
If it was somebody else
Ving
other
Rhames
than
did his
Tyrese,
thing.
that nigga would have won an Oscar because he did Baby Boy, and niggas was like, oh, he could really act. Then he did Fast and Furious Part 2.
Who you think could have did that? I see. What other California cat could have took his?
Nah. Because Baby Boy was, I think it was like written for Tyrese because he has a baggy butthole. I mean, who you gonna put in that role? But you had to be a very sensitive dude to be in that fucking role. Come on,
nah,
he got
that's 100%.
He got fucked. He got fucked up. He got fucked up by Snoop. Anybody who gets fucked up by Snoop, he's like, oh, come on.
He got beat up by midgets. They robbed his bottle and his bike. The nigga ran to his homie's house like they shot the nigga. He fell through the front door like they shot the nigga.
Yeah.
Yo,
and the toughest person in the flick is fucking what's his name?
Is Omar Gooden?
Ving Rhames. Omar Gooden.
Omar Gooden. You know what? Fuck it, let's do that. Next week we do Four Brothers and fucking Baby Boy.
Let's go.
And then we just have a massive Tyrese shit-a-thon.
Oh shit, that's right, yo. We're gonna shit on Tyrese. That's crazy. Nah,
I got a soda. You can't have the goddamn shit.
Did you guys see his fucking his Django audition tape?
No.
Oh man.
In what reality did he think he was gonna become Django?
Well, I mean, listen. If you got a good agent, they're gonna let you know when they're looking for people.
Right,
and
shoot your shot.
If you one of them niggas, you professional, you gonna send a tape in. This nigga filmed the shit in his backyard, bro. It's bad. Yeah, I'm not gonna run it down, but you guys.
Nah, yo, you gotta run that down. Nah.
So I guess he's in his backyard. He got somebody videotaping him. He got some fucking look like paperclip. You know how you used to chain paper clips together? Nigga got paperclip chains all over him. He's fucking crawling through the dirt, screaming. He's not even saying no lines though. He's not even saying like "wah." He's not even saying no lines though. So it's like oh man. And then right after that, he did some real life crying on the talk show or whatever. I'm like, this nigga he's spent, man. That nigga is spent.
Yo, what's it? Watching. Fuck, man. Hold on, real quick. Vice, and they do Vice on the channel. They do they do this shit about like how movies came along and shit, how they were made, whatever the fuck. And they did Fast and Furious. And yo, look this shit up. Tyrese is on there going, "Come on, everybody knows I'm the king of improvisations." I'm like, what? You do movies without reading the lines, bro? The lines read me. What the fuck are you talking about? Jumping Thunder?
Yo, bro, Tyrese is that nigga. Tyrese is that nigga that swears he know everybody, but when he get with the people he say he know, they don't even know the nigga.
They don't even know him.
Who the fuck are you? Like, nah, you remember I was with you that one time we went like, nah, nigga, you wasn't there, bro. Like, yo, it's always a Tyrese. We all grew up with a Tyrese.
Oh, I got a story about that. 1999. We're doing a fucking concert over there at SUNY Albany, and I was part of student government. So I'm backstage, bro. I'm hanging out with fucking Brand New B, mad heads up there, B, fucking crazy B, fucking like Wyclef was there, but his security was bananas, couldn't get to him and shit. But my boy had brought his boy from the city. He said, "Yo, I grew up with Brand New B on the same block, B. You know him?" "Yeah, B." I was like, "Yo, man." He's like, "Yo, what's up? Let me just go back there." I'm like, "Nah, yo, that's not my job." And he was, "Come on, Rhino, come on, man." I was like, "All right, man." Bring him back there. And he said, "Yo, what else you got?" He's like, "Yo, who the fuck is you?" Yo, nobody knew this guy, bro. And the whole time, I'm like, this motherfucker told me he knew him. Over here, fucking Tyrese and me.
That shit turned into a dangerous situation. It's little shit like that turn into a fucking dangerous situation.
Indeed.
Because imagine you say you know him, and you be like, "Yo, that's my man. Oh, that's your man. He's right here. Come say hello." Ah, damn.
Like, he been looking for this nigga. Niggas been looking for this nigga. So now it's you and him. And now guess what? It's a Bronx tale. You can't leave.
Yeah.
Shit.
Somebody getting shanked.
Listen, man, stay away from niggas like Tyrese, bro. They only gonna have you in hot water.
Word. Or doing gay porn.
Damn.
Yeah, it can happen to you. So, yo, man, fun. This is fucking fantastic. Again, obscure boxing joints. Definitely got to get into the obscure baseball and basketball joints. I would love to do like an above the rim breakdown. That's fucking. That's another Tyrese character, right? My mama said. Yeah, man. It's been another great episode of Lights, Camera, Distraction, man. motherfucker right here on every podcast, man. Subscribe, look at the links, find us online, fucking screenshot our pictures, and name your kids after us. Fuck
all
you.
of that. All of that.
That's a fact.
Don't forget to tap in every Tuesday, Gorilla Grooves Radio. You understand me?
Or, my bad, our interview is this Tuesday. Yeah.
It's this Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
All good.
Tuesday.
It's all good. Don't forget to tap in. You know what I'm saying? Also, do not forget, okay, theemporium.vip, okay? For everything gray area, for everything ROT, for everything Guru, for everything MOD. We're going to get Rhino his own section on there as well. And yeah, we're going to move out like that. That's, listen, next week we got 4 brothers and Baby Boy.
Oh my God, it's going to be so great. One of us has to cry.
Somebody's got to cry. And somebody.
We just posted Tyrese.
It's going to be great. Yeah, have a good week. Stay safe out there. And remember, man, movies, they're just pictures. And they move fast. That's it.
Peace.
Peace.
Perhaps I don't want what you think I want. And if there's nothing you can give me, perhaps there is something that I can give you.